let's continue setting up my brand new Erin Condren Monthly Planner that I'm going to be using as my everyday planner. Hi, I'm Kristen and I post functional planning videos on my channel. If you're like me and you need a gentle reminder to just keep it simple, please make sure you're subscribed and I'll be right back. I have actually already started setting this up. So in the previous video, which I will link above, I have gone over this very special exclusive monthly planner. Currently when I'm filming this, it is Erin Condren Insider Week, and I teamed up with Erin Condren to create an exclusive bundle just for Erin Condren Insiders Week. And I chose the monthly planner and also a notepad, which is in the back here. And this is a special notepad that just says keep it simple. It looks like the mantra notepads, but we have a little custom mantra up here. And also these glitter gel pens come in the bundle as well. So you can watch that video and learn more about that. Again, I just want to say thank you to Erin Condren for teaming up with me for this bundle collab, and thank you again for gifting this. I will link the bundle in the description. It should still be up the day this video goes live. It was sold out towards the beginning of the week, but it has since returned and been restocked, so hopefully it's still available whenever you're watching this and you can grab one for yourself. The link is in the description, and just as a reminder, I am an Erin Condren affiliate, so if you shop through my links, I do receive a commission, and I thank you so much for helping me to support my family and my channel in that way. All right, so let's get planning. I have done a couple of things between that video and this video, just to kind of, I really just needed to like try it and see if that's what I wanted to do for the rest of the year. Let's just kind of go over that a little bit. I have added my usual little sticky pocket thing up here in the front. I may move this to the back. So when I'm at the beginning of a planner, stuff on the front cover kind of is like bulky and hard to write on. So I will probably end up, let's just go ahead and do it now, moving this to the back cover where it's not going to bother me. And then towards the end of the planner, I can move it back to the front. And that's just where I keep little odds and ends that I don't want to fall out of that main pocket in the back, like coupons and stuff. And yeah, so we have our name page here. I've used a PlannerKate custom name script, and this is in font 7. And we did this in that last video, and I put these older, these are the older inserts. If you have any of these in your stash for the old Erin Condren dashboards inserts, you know, we had all these different ones from PlannerKate. So I have a bunch in my stash, and I decided to start using them throughout my planner, and I made this page more functional by putting some lines here using those stickers. There are other inserts like this available. They're just a little bit shorter because they fit in the new dashboard layout. So you could still do something like this if you wanted. And then these are, I actually have an extra sheet of these here somewhere. Maybe I put them away already. But yeah, here they are. This is sheet kit 8XX A04, and this is a Monday start. There's also a Sunday start version. Monday start mini calendars, and I decided to make my year at a glance over here on this page, and I'm starting to use these mini transparent dots in the Erin Condren mild colorway to mark out some things. And so I'll go ahead and put one here to show you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to use these lines here as just like a key, and let's just kind of do it in the middle because I don't want to write right up next to that coil anyway. But this is going to be like no school, which I actually have a script for, so I was kind of thinking about just using the scripts because it's really school holidays and Formula One that's going to go on here, and I have scripts for both of those, so maybe we just do both. Yeah, let's just do that real quick. So this is custom scripts in Jack font. I have switched to using Jack font for as many things as I can, and I like that everything kind of matches nice and neat. So yellow means no school, and I guess we'll do Formula One in the pink. Because, you know, Formula One is red, that's like the color, but I kind of want to do orange because my favorite team is McLaren. So and that's their color, papaya. So, yeah, and I think that's what I'll do, because if I ever do end up marking anything like for church on here, in my goals, church is pink, or faith is pink. I used yellow for school because it's family, and family is the yellow. Yeah, let's do that. I wouldn't really have anything for orange most likely, so I'm gonna do that. And I'm gonna put this, let's just kind of center these on this top line, and then that way I will have the rest of this if I need to mark other specific things that, you know, need a little bit more info on them. So here I have a Formula 1 custom script from PlannerKate, and that goes right here. And I will go and add those later, and I also have the school calendar for the next school year, and I will go add those in too. But you get the idea. So let me show you up close how that looks. My camera's struggling lately to focus. I'm not really sure what happened, but you can see how those fit in those little squares perfectly. And these are the mini circles. So there's two different sizes of these transparent circles. These are the minis, and you can see those dates underneath. I was kind of concerned that they would be hard to see because these are gray calendars, but I think it turned out fine. So that is my new year at a glance setup. And then on these pages, I've used full-size pages, full-size dashboards from PlannerKate to do my bill tracker, which is going to have bills and sinking funds, and like the bills part will have like those annual memberships, you know, like Amazon Prime and Walmart Plus. If I end up renewing it, I'm still undecided. I have till July to decide. But you know, those kinds of annual memberships would go up here too. And then I think what I'll do with those is just cross out the months it doesn't go in, or I might just outline the box that it is due in. I'm not sure. Okay, so I'm gonna set these aside for that. We did this in that video. It's just my goals, and instead of writing out like the goal words, like the goal sentence, like cultivate a cozy home under home, instead of writing that, I wrote declutter the house and make some repairs, because those are the actual tangible action items that I can actually be putting in my planner to do. So I have a separate goal planner. I do use the power sheets from Cultivate What Matters, and so that has like more in-depth goal stuff in there, but this is just like, here's the things. These are the main things I would like to get done this year as something that I can like check off a list. Okay, and then here we have the 12 boxes, which I also set up in that video, and I haven't gone through and filled all of this out yet. I'm still kind of like working on that. We've shifted some things from what the time periods that we usually do them, so I can't just copy. I just kind of need to go and look again. These are PlannerKate Jack Font month stickers, and then these are also PlannerKate stickers that you can get to fit these perfectly. I love that it's just the right little pop of color. I did end up skipping 2 lines of the checklist to fit these big months on here, but PlannerKate does have smaller months that you can choose from. I just don't need as many. I don't think I will, so I was good with that. But these are repositionable, so if I do decide that I need to add more space there, I could shift them around, move them around and such. But I'm happy with them here. So here we have a line notes page, and we're going into January, but I mentioned in that video like what you could do with these to January and February, since obviously they have passed. I am going to actually rip these out. I'm going to keep all the line notes pages, obviously, but I'm going to rip out the tab page and the calendar, like these 2 pages, so that I just have a bunch of blank notes pages in the front, and we'll just do it together. It's kind of hard to do, but we're just gonna do it, because I don't need them for that, and so since it's gone, right? Like, I don't need to worry about that. I did make some suggestions on how you could use these if you really wanted to, but For me, the best option is just to take out the dated parts and just keep the blank, all these blank notes pages up here. So now look at all these. We have 20 notes pages here, and then this is 21. So that's a lot. And then now you see here, this is kind of like the spoiler alert. So normally this is just a plain tab like this. I went ahead and put the PlannerKate perpetual calendars on here. This was one of the things I wanted to make sure I really wanted to do before I like committed to doing it on camera. And I have decided that yes, we are going to go forward with this, and let me just show you them. So I have the whole year here of these. So now I need to go and put all the dates on these, and this is what I'm just going to do for each of these tab pages. And I do have this little thing. I got the extra bit that you can get to go with it that creates like a bottom box, because the quote was going to be covered up. So the other thing I thought about was maybe putting it on the top. After I put this on, I thought, well, if I put like the month up here, I could put the box here and then the calendar here, and then I could have like my top 3 things for the month maybe. So I think we'll do that for April, and I'll show you how to do that. And then this is going to be for my work planning, and it's really just for like those one-off dates of things I need to keep in mind and remember, and not necessarily my content, because that always changes, and I just use a Google Calendar for that because it's so much more simple to just drag and drop things than it is to like white out and move stickers and, you know, all that kind of stuff constantly in here. And also I'm keeping the facing notes page free for just general notes about things that, obviously these boxes are really small. So if I put something here, like I will probably maybe put the bullet points. We have the small bullet points that come on the page. So this is the page that the things I didn't use up yet. We have some bullet points there, and then we have these like bars. I've used 5 of those to write out the week numbers, and in hindsight, I should have used the darker ones because you can barely see those. So I will do that for the next months. But you know, I did do my Monday start, and we've got all the dates on there. But we do have these extra pieces, so I thought I could put those on here to indicate certain things. And then like right over here what I'm talking about. So I don't know, we'll see. But I also have these left over from redating my monthly calendar, and I could use those as well to be like different kinds of icons. And so here is my monthly calendar, and again I used the these are the July ones, but let me show you. I had the March ones here, and in the previous video I actually used these for the bar up here, but I decided afterwards that I really wanted that like solid color. So there's on all of these, I have them for the whole year. On all of these we have the same layout, or the same like designs, just in all different colors. And so I used the solid one to cover up the Sunday through Saturday date strip, or day of the week strip, and then covered it up with the days of the week on the little days and bullets. And then of course I used the date dots over here. I love how that looks. It's so simple, but I love the bold look of these, and I just like that solid line that matches over here, matches with the tab and everything. And then over here, I thought it would be fun to use the these Hello Months sheets. So this is Kit XXXA24, and these are in the colorway that matches Erin Condren colorful planners. There's also a neutral one that's like gray and black if you don't have the Erin Condren planner. So you can see I already went and used one, and we'll look at those months in just a second. But this one fit right over the word March, and I wanted to put this on here, and just, I don't know, I love these and I'm so excited to use them. And I had mentioned before that I really wanted those little Hello Month stickers all by themselves without having to buy like the monthly kit, and magically they appeared, and I'm so happy because I love these so much. So now, oh, and then I have my week numbers on the side over here. I'm using the new version of the week numbers that is Kit 7XXA18 because these match like the Jack font. And since I'm starting this planner in week 10, I had 9 weeks of week numbers I wasn't going to need. And so I was using these as the extras. So normally I get 2 sheets so that because, you know, the last week of the month we have, you know, week 14 here, but also the first week of the next month is also week 14. So all I'm doing is just whiting out the number and writing it in for those extra ones so that I don't have to use this extra sheet. I don't know if I'll be able to do that for the whole year, but I don't know. I just thought, why not, right? They're not going to get used otherwise. So that's how I have the months set up. I don't have anything set up here yet, nothing in the weeks yet. And then I did go ahead and set up April. I already put a note down for next month for star testing. And then I've set up May, and you can see here I put the Hello May because these boxes aren't part of May. And so I decided to put those there. I probably won't be planning this week, week 18, in my May tab, so I'm not going to really need anything there anyway because I will be planning it in my April tab because most of this week falls in April. And then I also did June, and it's all set up the same way. I didn't do July and forward yet because, you know, new planners that come out always start in July, and I just decided, even though I don't have any intentions of not being in this planner, like I'm not saying I am going to switch planners in July, I just thought if something comes out, you know, if Erin Condren comes out with like my dream layout or something, right, then maybe we would consider moving to that planner, or when the new monthly planners come out, maybe I want to switch to that. I don't know, you know, you never know. So I decided instead of wasting the stickers, I was just going to go through June because that's how long I would definitely be using this planner. And then I can pick back up and put these in once July hits. And it'll be fun too because July is also planner setup season, and I will get to play in my planner when everybody else is and I'm feeling inspired to set up a planner. So that's what I've done so far. And now that we've torn out January and February, I can kind of like dream about what we want to use these pages for. And I honestly don't know. I just thought it would be it made the most sense to have the extra notes pages. If you get a monthly planner, just order one on your own. They're currently 30% off on the Erin Condren site, I believe. You have the option of adding extra notes pages to the back, so you would still be able to get extra notes pages. I don't know how I want to use these yet. I do have other full-size sticker sheets that I got from PlannerKate. We have a reading log. I have my ideal week. So I'm considering that. And what I'll probably do is fill the ideal week out and put it in like after I fill it out. And then this one I'll put on the left side. But I do want to go and like write all of my books that my short list of books that I want to read soon on here before I stick it down. But that's where that will go. And I guess what we can do together is start to, I'm already like got everything all over the place here. I'm just trying to get organized. Start to kind of plan out how we're going to use the notes pages for weekly planning. And actually before we do that, let's put April on here because then you can see, you know, how to do that. If you haven't played with these before, you can see how that works. So I think what I will do is I will let's close this up like this. You know what, let's talk about this. What I could do here is actually, since we have April on the tab, what if I put the April header over here? And that would kind of like tie these together a little more than just that, you know? I could put the April header over there and then put the month right here and then, oh no, and then put this right here. And then we can put the month right here. Yeah, let's do that. I think that would be fun. This is like one of my favorite things to do in my planner, is just like play with all this stuff like this and just kind of see like what works and what I like. Because I do love like setting these up, but sometimes some things will work better for me, or like as I'm using them, I'm like, oh yeah, that's the move. I want to keep doing it like that. So yeah, I like that. And then that matches this and it will tie everything together. So then let's put this over here at the top. You know what we could also do? We could still, I have plenty of these months. This is my PlannerKate book of things. So like we have all these months and these months. I could get these. Let's try that. What do you think? And don't I have some in here? I may have some months in here left over. This is just my old reusable sticker book with like leftovers. Yeah, look, there's an April. I can do that with these and then use these up, because this isn't a full year, and so this is kind of like the perfect use for those kinds of things, to get rid of them and to feel like, you know, I'm not wasting them. Yeah, I'll put those on there. And this I'm just gonna pull off of here and we'll put it up here at the top. Oh, I guess I should start by the coil so I'm not, I need to put it right up at the top, I think, to make sure everything fits. Okay, I'm having not second thoughts on what I'm doing, but I need to actually just double check. Okay, we do have plenty of room up here for everything. It doesn't need to be like crammed together. Okay. I was thinking maybe I needed to like make sure there was room for everything, but I think this is going to be okay. I think this should be fine. Oh, that's not going to go down straight, is it? Okay. Oh no, how did that happen? Okay. Easy fix, easy fix. All right. And then I wanted to put the month on there. So do I do the black one or do I do the purple one? The black ones, I've got those black ones too. Like that, maybe? Sure, why not? It's not going to get used otherwise, you know? Okay, and then I need to put my Monday start day of the week strip down. And we'll put the right here. And now we need to put this down, and I'm going to do it like similar to how I do the full page stickers, where I just kind of fold over a little bit and then we'll line it up that way. Just so there's less of that sticker paper sticking out. Yeah, okay, cool. And then, oh, I didn't pull the, let's get the ruler off of the front of the planner and use that to help me push, just to make it nice and smooth. There we go. Perfect. All right. Oh, and I didn't leave room for my week numbers. I always do that. I could probably put them over here. All right. And I'm going to put the days of the dates on here on my own because, you know, you don't really need to see that. But let's see. March ends on Tuesday. So the 1st is on Wednesday. Let's just put that there now so I know whenever I sit down to start. The 1st is on a Wednesday. And then April is going to have, like, you know, Erin Condren Life Planner launch or something. So I don't know when that's going to be. Let's just pretend it's like on this day. And then I can go put like a dot over here and say, you know, that April, whatever that day is, and then I could put like Life Planner launch or something, right? That's kind of what I'm intending to do. So now with these, I want to I'm going to use microns a lot. So microns are archival ink, and they're not, they say they're waterproof and they don't fade. And so since they're waterproof, you can highlight over top of them and it won't like smear. And so I got a set of these from Amazon, and this is what I'm going to be using for drawing the grids in my planner going forward. You can also get these like individually at Michael's. So check there too if you want to try them out without getting like the whole pack. But let's just go and write with these. Week 14, week 15, week 16, week 17, and we'll put week 18 on the dark ones. Now, hopefully it will fit there. And it's good too. I guess it makes more sense because I don't really do work things on Sunday, so, you know, it's fine. Like, even if it's gonna fit good, but even if it overlaps like a lot, it shouldn't be a problem. I shouldn't have too much to write in there. So that's how we're gonna do our monthly setups. So the reason I'm showing you this in this video is so that I have a way to like refer back to, because I'm probably not going to set these up on camera in the future, and I probably won't be showing these pages in my videos because it would just be, it's too much anxiety. I don't want to accidentally, you know, leak something I'm not supposed to with the different brands I'm working with. You know, what I like to use these for is when I know when there's going to be sales or promotions or new products like in advance, I need to see that all together so that I can like visualize like what my weeks leading up to that are going to look like if I'm like participating in helping promote that thing. And so I can't have this being shown on camera because obviously I've agreed, you know, I've promised these brands that I wouldn't leak things like that. And so that's why you probably won't see this in the future. I want to start doing planner flip through videos again, like the monthly flip throughs after the month is over and everything has passed. And so as long as there's not like, you know, spoiler information, then maybe you would be able to see them, but I'm not sure yet. I have to work back into the routines of what I want to do. But let me take these little bullet points off before I freak myself out and wonder what that was for in the future. And then we will move on to maybe trying to figure out how to set up the dashboard pages. But yeah, that's basically how that's going to work. I can also use my BW icons, which are my favorite icons. These are from PlannerKate. I have all of these kinds of things for like YouTube videos and stuff like that, and I don't typically use these a lot in my regular plans, so those would fit nicely in here too. So say I'm having like a special video on a certain day to announce something, then I could put like that there because that would be like a one-off thing and not like a recurring thing. Okay, and then yeah, so like I have all of these, and then I also have some like work-based scripts. I wonder if those will fit in here. So this is my book where I keep most of my like scripts and things, and I have the dividers and the sticker organizing tab stickers, and let's see, I could put like day off might fit, like certain days where I know I'm not going to have time to work. I like to mark those as days off so that I'm not thinking, oh, I can film tomorrow when I really can't because I need to be like at my kid's school or something. And then I have like these Warehouse Wednesday stickers. I don't think those are going to fit, but I don't really, oh, they kind of fit almost perfectly. But I could just use these on the notes page to note like what things might be going on sale for Warehouse Wednesday. So yeah, that kind of stuff will go in there. It's nice to use stickers for these smaller spaces because I tend to write really big, and obviously when we have a smaller space, it's hard. Sometimes it's hard for me to like fit things in, but you know, if I have a script that's small enough, that's kind of perfect, right? Okay, so let's go back to March and work on, oh, this. I set this up in the video, and I had the to-do script on there. So let me go ahead and fold this. This is kind of how I'm gonna keep these together, is to keep all the purple things with the purple things for April, something like that, and then put them in my organizer here. But I had the one that says to do on here, and I changed my mind. I'm not sure, because I tend to, like I said, I write really big, and so it's hard to get like my full to-do list on there. And we have to-do list right here. So I was thinking what I was doing in my other planner was I had scripture here, and that would work because I could write the whole verse here. And then see it all the time when I'm looking at my monthly calendar. And so I think maybe that's what we'll do, is we'll take like, I have a custom script that I had made that says scripture on it, and I could put that there. Let's see, we have church, Bible study, here's the one that says scripture. So I think we could do that, and we could even do the little, I don't know, cross BW icon or whatever, but then I would choose my scripture for the month. You could do like your favorite quote or encouraging words or something, maybe, like, you know, your affirmations or whatever, a prayer, you know, that kind of thing. And then, yeah, so once I choose that, I can write it here. All right, now we have this page. So this is, do these Hello March things fit here? No, that's going to be too big. I was thinking that might be a fun place to put that, but that's too big. I forgot to order, in my last order, I forgot to order the holiday stickers, and then when I thought about it, instead of placing another order, I just thought, well, maybe I just don't need to, because you know, let's see what we have in here. So like, you know, I don't really put a lot of holidays in my planner as far as like all the like little in-between ones. I kind of mostly do, you know, Easter, Christmas, Thanksgiving, Halloween. Oh, look at all these I could use. I love these stickers. This is why I kept them. I could have just used that for April. Oh, goodness. But like, I wonder if any of these these are just like old stickers I bought to use and then never used them. I was thinking, I wonder if there's anything I could put on there. Nope, that's April. Okay. Like on the monthly stickers, see how this one says like Easter and Earth Day and that kind of thing. I want to just get the plain ones, I think, that just are like black and white, that say the holidays on them. I could also just write it on there. It's like, you know, sometimes I think I get too carried away thinking, oh, well, there's a sticker for that, I gotta have the sticker, but maybe I could just write it, you know. And then let's see. So I did say I wanted to set this up, but maybe I'm going too fast and I need to look and find out the school holidays. So we don't have school this week here, week 12. So I could put stuff there for that. And let's use, I have my no school scripts, and then I think in the back here I have some functional things. Oh, here's those black and white hello months. Don't I have lines? They might be in another spot, but I have arrows. I could use the arrows, but I know I have dotted lines and I liked those. I like the little times too. All right, let me see where my dotted lines are. Are they in here for some reason? I know I have them. I have a whole sheet of them. They're squiggly lines. I swear I had a whole sheet of dotted lines. Did I pull them off? Maybe I used most of them and put them in here instead. Yeah, there they are. Okay, this is -104. And we will put those there. I need to grab that no school script. And I don't have any, I don't think I have any like green labels anymore. I think I've used everything that I wanted to use. So why don't we look in the back of the planner and use the stickers that come with the planner. Perfect. Okay, let's use this. If I could get that off of there. Okay, here we go. So let's take this and put that, let's put this here, no school, and let's get this dash label. And put this like that. Oh, that's crooked. No school. And then I need to put, oh, we have these little half ones already that I just laid here, so that's kind of perfect. So obviously we wouldn't have school on Friday either. All right. Oh, and there's no school this day because this is, even though it's in April, that is Good Friday, and we have that day off as well. Yes, Good Friday. So we'll put a no school here, and let's put that, should we put that on a green? Yeah, let's put it on a green one, just like this one. Just so it stands out as something, you know, different and important to remember. And then everything else, I'm gonna try to use those dash labels for most of the other things, because I like that it's like a quieter look, I guess you could say. Yeah. So there we go, no school and no school. Okay, so I will need to actually like plan out my month, so I suppose we should do that before moving on to the monthly or the dashboard. Let me start with putting like my son's tennis tournaments in, and I have a script for that too. Because I'm not actually attending the tennis tournaments, but I do need to go pick him up if he finishes early. And so I need to know certain days that I need to make sure I'm not like, I just need to make sure I'm like available on call, I guess you could say. So let's see, we have one on the 3rd and one on the 24th. So I'm going to put that like right up at the top, because then I will make sure not to schedule any kind of appointments or anything on those days, you know, just so that I'm available for him. And one on the 24th. And I'm going to put my tennis racket BW icon on there. Didn't I have, did I have any tennis rackets left over in here? I feel like I saw something. Maybe it was just Formula One or something. Yeah. Let me keep that open because I am going to need Formula One stickers on here. Okay, tennis rackets are right here. And I really wanted to have all of my BW icons on the way I have these ones. I wanted to just punch them, but Kate redesigned the sheets and now there's not like a washi on the side, so now I can't and I don't know what to do. So for now I'm doing this instead of, I was taking them out and putting them in the reusable sticker book, but I'm gonna try this way just to see if it's, I don't know, something I need to, something I wanna do, or I don't know, we'll see. Okay, tennis tournament. Let's keep these out because we'll have to mark some practices and stuff too. Okay. And what else? Do I mark the practices now? I don't have any practices in here actually. I do need to mark those though. I need to pull up the schedule, but let me see what else is on my calendar. I'm looking at my Google Calendar on my phone off screen right here. I have Bible study on Thursday mornings. We could put those in, and let's get the cross icons out, and I will use those. I was thinking about using the books for Bible study. There's an actual icon for Bible study, but I still have these, so I'm going to try to use those up. Let's do those instead of the cross. And that is under faith, and I have these. Okay, and then we will put those, that Bible study is in the morning, so that can go up top too. So, and I think that might fit perfectly in this section. Let's see. The books might be a little too wide. I could layer it. Let's layer it. And then that way I have more room, because since I go out on Thursdays for Bible study, I tend to do errands on those days, so, or schedule an appointment or something for those same days. So yeah. That way I'll have space in the box to use for the other things that might come up. I won't have Bible study on the week we don't have school. And then this will be the actual last meeting here. Okay. I like that. I think that looks really cute. Yes, I'm covering up the cute little heart on the BW icon, but I still like it. I think it's adorable. And it leaves lots of open space, which is what I need to see. I need to see all that white space or I get overwhelmed. Okay, so that's how that's gonna look. And then let's see, I need to add Formula One. And that we have Formula One starting back up this first week and this week and this week, so yay. But what I like to do for Formula One is to only put, I don't like, even though it's like all weekend, I like to just put it on Sunday when the Grand Prix is, and then if there's a sprint, which it looks like we have sprints a couple of these weeks, then I'll mark it with another flag so that I know it's a sprint weekend. But let's go ahead and put these ones in for March, and I have these flags off to the side here. I think what we're going to end up doing is the same thing we did here, where I'm going to overlap it. So Let's see, we have a race on, wait, is that on the 7th? Is it because it's Australia? That's crazy. Okay. We'll put it on the bottom because it's at night. Maybe what if I put those little times on there? You know, the little, let's see. These. I wonder if I have one for every, I don't even have. Let's try that actually. I think I want to try that. So on the 13th, we have one. This is a sprint, and that's at 10. Oh, I'm not gonna have enough 10s. I only have one 10 in this color, so I'm gonna have to use the white ones. I was trying to see if I could use those ones, the colorful ones, to use them up, but I'm gonna have to use all these. Okay, so at the 13th we have at 10 p.m. and then on the 15th it's at 2 a.m. Okay, let's put these here. 10 a.m. and this was at 10 a.m. or 10 p.m. And then we have on the 15th, we have 2 a.m., which here's a 2 right here. So I think I'll actually like write either the name or like here I'll just put Aus for Australia. Although we do have an Austrian Grand Prix, but I will know that the first one is Australia, it's fine. Or I don't write anything because I'm going to write what they are over here. So yeah, maybe, what do I do? How do I do this? I think maybe just leave it like that. Yeah, I like that. Okay. And then on the 29th, we have the Japanese Grand Prix at 12:30 in the morning. Okay, where's 12:30? Here's one. And that is on the 29th. Which really I should put it here because this is AM. I should be putting, because like I would stay up. No, let's put them on the top because I'm probably not gonna stay up actually to watch these. We'll put it early in the morning like that, and then I'll know. These are morning, these are evening. Okay. I'm changing things up slightly from how I used to do it. That's kind of why I'm like waffling around here. Okay, I like that. It helps it look a little less cluttered, I think. All right, and then what else do we need to add here? We have a dentist appointment on the 20th, and I have little appointment things here for that, and that's under health. And so we have this one that says appointment, but I'm pretty sure I also have the tooth one. Yeah, let's do the tooth. My son got his braces off and he looks so grown up. It's amazing how that happens. It's like so weird that he just looks so much different. Like how much the braces have, he's had them on for like, I don't know, 2 years now. And it's just crazy how the difference it has made. He just looks so grown up, and but now I'm not going to need all of these teeth ones, so we got to start using them up as much as we can. And that appointment is at 9 a.m. All right, and that is on the 20th. Can I fit this? No, I'll just put it right here. It's fine. Okay, and The rest of everything I will just fill out separately. It's really just little one-off things that I need to reassess and make sure those days line up right. I realized I had made a mistake. I planned out a bunch of like days for my goal things. So I want to finish a quilt. So I had like planned out a day every month that I am going to dedicate to like sewing or quilting. Anyway, I think I made a mistake on which days go, which days I need to do those things. And so I just need to, before I commit to putting it in the planner, I'm going to relook at that again. But you'll see that, you know, as we do weekly plans and stuff. And let's see. The other thing was the tennis practice. So that's why I did want this out. So let's go to tennis practice, and then I need to pull up, I've got my tennis practice custom fonts here, and then I need to get on my phone and pull up that practice schedule. I had them in my Google Calendar, and then I took them out because it was so crowded, but yeah, I just needed to come up with a new system for that. But now I just need to go find it. And I keep everything in my Google Drive. There, so can you see that? I have all of my folders listed like that, and I have them listed with the numbers so that they stay in order. Otherwise they'll go in alphabetical order. And that's just the order I want them in. And so I keep everything in each folder. You know, in the family folder, I have like my son's school stuff, and that's all broken up by grade and stuff like that. So I have his tennis schedule, and I will pull it up here, go to March. And March on, Monday the 2nd, we have tennis practice. Let's use the tweezers. So when he has practice, I pick him up at 4 from the tennis courts. And when he doesn't have practice, I typically will pick him up from the gym. Like, he likes to go work out. So if he's not going to tennis practice, he'll walk over to the gym, and then I pick him up from there. Are we really only having practice twice in March? Because they have a tournament that day, and then the other team has a tournament. It always baffles me that they don't have practice as often. When I played tennis in high school, we had practice every single day. If we weren't at a tournament, we were practicing. At their school, they don't practice very often, and I think that's weird. But yeah, so we only have practice twice in March. Interesting. All right, and we'll put this here. Very good. Okay, cool. Maybe I should punch this and keep it here, because that's when I'm going to use it. Instead of, look, that's what I wanted to do with these, but since, you know, they're not all like that, I wish I could. Maybe I just need to take some of them off the edge and then punch the edge. Maybe that's what I'll do. Okay, and that's good, I think, for now. And that's how the monthly is going to look, and I love it. Okay, and now we got to figure this out. This is where I'm going to do something similar to what I usually have done, but I'm not quite sure of the layout, because it is kind of like a new layout, I think. I don't know. I did use this a little bit in the new planner, but let's see. Let's get this up here. And I'm actually going to put something like an icon there to cover that up, I guess. Maybe a pencil. I like the pencil or the pen or whatever. I think I have a pencil. I could do the planner. There's the pencils. Let's do the planner because I have a ton of these. I accidentally ordered a second sheet of these, which I didn't need, but now I have a ton of different like notebook and planner stickers. So let's use the colorful one. And Yeah. Oh, you know what else I need to put on here is I need to put the like Goal School Premium classes and everything too, which I don't have written down, but those will be probably like certain Tuesdays. Okay, so I'm thinking we'll have our normal to-do list. I need a spot for, I'm putting scripture here, which I think I used to have it on one of these and I don't need it there anymore. I need to put a spot for school things and a spot for Formula One. So let's do the school things here and the Formula One here, because then I can list out, I can do my grid thing and list out all the events for each day. This can be easily just like a blank spot for school notes where I can just write certain things. And then this will just be the goals I'm focusing on this month, I think. And yeah, so let's take these and do this month. I thought I had ordered a custom script that said goals on it, but I had decided to, I guess I decided to just use the one for this month. So I didn't. Okay, and then this one we need for school. So pro tip here, if you don't want to buy 2 sheets, but you need one that says no school and one that says school, just get no school and then cut off the no. I don't know why I didn't do that. But yeah, so we'll do school, and then this is Formula One. And I think I'll put it, we might end up moving the one that says Formula One depending on how much space I have here whenever I draw that grid out. But let's add the icons now. And we have all of these that I'm trying to use up. So even though these ones don't have, oh, I put those away and I needed, oh, what happened here? How did that get all messed up? I need the backpack, and let's do the little award, like the ribbon, metal, you know? I'll show you. You'll know what I'm talking about. I feel like that's good for goals. Oh, I could have used these that are green. Oh well, it's already on the paper. All right, I need the backpack to use for school, or we could do the apple, but I like the backpack. Apple I tend to use for a school lunch kind of thing, or if it's like something specifically for teachers, like Teacher Appreciation Week or something. This is for goals. It's like, you know, a medal, an award, a ribbon, an award ribbon. So let's get that out and then keep looking for the backpack. Do I just not have any more backpacks? Did I just completely miss them in here? What I want to do is take one of each of the icons I have and create like a key and put, because the numbers, I have these in here in order of their like sheet number, and then I can just put that in the front. That's why I have this blank. Put that in the front, put the picture of the icon I have and then what the number is in order, and then that way I can see you know, where they're going to be. Like if it's an early number, they're towards the front. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. Oh, there's some backpacks right there. And you know what? Maybe I'll make it like a little printable for you. So, and I'll put it in my freebies section. Okay. I guess that means I need to do it now that I said that out loud. Oh, what am I doing? School. School. This is goals. This is school. Cool. Okay. And I like that this here is out. It's just a spot by itself, and I don't have to worry about losing any kind of school notes like within the rest of my stuff. and then I can just keep it here. So this over here, I think is going to be a sticky note spot for now, because I do need to keep track of how many debit card purchases I'm making. And so I have a sticky note here while I'll keep track of that. And I suppose what we could do is put I have the little credit card thing for like paying your credit card bill. I have that to use as my like debit card. Yeah, this one. And I could put that on there just for fun, to make it look fun. And then what I'll do up here is I'll look at my bank statement and see what this statement period is, because it's not like March, it's like, you know, February 19th to March 18th or whatever it is. And then I'll write that there, and then this way I can make sure, this is like a bill pay kind of thing, but I'm using it to check off what purchases I've made with my debit card, and then I'll know when I get to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like where there's 3 left. There's space for 13 things on here. So once I get to here, then I know I'm good. Okay, and then I also would like to do a cleaning checklist, and I think we'll use this one. I think this is an old one. I think I've changed it slightly, and this is just in my stash as an old one. I do have blank ones, but let's use this one here, just to get rid of it. I just have stuff everywhere, and I'm just kind of like, I need to get rid of everything. I need to use up my stuff. So we'll have cleaning here, and normally I'll do like, we do the kitchen and the bathrooms. And then I'm going to separate out sweeping and mopping, even though I always have to sweep when I mop. The point of doing this is sometimes when I sweep, I will just do the Swiffer, like if I just don't feel like dealing with getting the mop out. But I do want to make sure I'm actually using like the real mop, you know, at least once a month. Ideally, I would do it every week, but let's be real, I don't. And then that way I can see that I've mopped. And if, you know, we're getting towards the end of the month and I haven't checked off that I've mopped, then I need to mop. That's kind of like the idea there. Vacuuming. And then I know I'm forgetting things. Anyway, whatever, I'll keep filling that out. I know I'm forgetting things. And then I think that's good. I was kind of thinking about using this. This is a undated monthly calendar that I have sitting here. I was thinking about using this for some kind of like a monthly habit tracker for like one habit I want to track, but I also have dated ones. I just haven't printed the big ones out for March yet, so I don't know. Let's see. And then I also have some kind of like content creation ones, and I think I will use, I have these that I messed up on, that when I was printing them for the first time, I forgot to check. You know, you can change the quality of your printer it uses more ink, but anyway, I forgot to change that, and so I couldn't use them for pictures and stuff. So anyway, I have those. I want to use that one up, but let's put that on the work side, like that maybe. And basically that's just a checklist I've made where I write the name of like the content that I'm working on, and then I have like this order of things that I need to do for it, and then I can check them off and see, like, you know, I like to batch produce things when I can, just to save time. So we'll just put that one there. I didn't print off my Monday Start mini calendars. Yeah, I forgot to do that. But I do have, these are some lined, they're just basic notes here. And I was thinking I could maybe put those somewhere. I don't know. I'll just put it here for now, I guess. But let's get April on the April calendar. So that way, as things start coming up, like this, I didn't have that handy already. And this, I could have written on there, but that's okay. And then I'm sure I have more. They're just all over the place. Yeah, like here's one for May. That one's a dotted one. But that's how I recommend using these, as just like placeholders, so you don't have to like write things on your planner if you're not ready to yet. They're also just a good way to write like a memory down for the month or something. I don't know, they're super useful for all kinds of different things. We have like the lined version too, or the box version. You can put that there. Okay. I think that is it for the dashboard. Super simple. I could go ahead and take these washies and put these on here. I like to put the border on them, you know, just to have something nice on the page. Let's do that. And then here, let's move this out of the way and put the other one down here. It's just a subtle little bit. It doesn't take up any space that I would need to like write in. And it's just a fun little way to use some cute stuff and just matches. I love it when things match sometimes, you know? So yeah, so we've got the work stuff, which I actually really liked this setup better. I think that this kind of like ties it together more, where this just kind of looks plain. I could put like, here, let's do this. Let's take this guy and put it here. And then I'll get my script that says work on it, I guess. And then we'll put that, there, and then it'll just be like a little bit tied together, I guess. What about in that book? I had those months, these, and I did have one for March, so let's take that. Let's take that, and we will put here, let me see, March work, and let's make this not crooked. I still put it down crooked. Like that? Yeah, okay. I like it. It kind of helps. Maybe I should put these on this page because it matches that. Okay, I'll do it. Let's do it. Let's move this out of the way. Put this down here. And then I'll put this one right under those stickers I just did. Awesome. There. That's cute. It helps, and since it matches that worked out really well. And we've got a couple of these things left, and so I'm going to keep these, I guess, in the back of the planner to make sure I use them. And they don't get lost. And yeah, I haven't even done the grid yet, so maybe we'll wait and do the grid, and we'll do just our regular plan with me for Monday, because when this video goes up, it'll be before that. So why don't we wait on that and do it together. I think I'm kind of still unsure about this. I think I might actually skip these 2 pages and then keep them available for projects or goals specific to March. And then we'll start here with week 10, week 11, week 12, 13, week 14 is when we will end. So then we will still have this page, and then of course we've already reserved this for that. So then we'll still even have one last page if we needed it for something. I like the idea of having like the project pages up here, but I don't really have anything specific picked out yet, so that might be a next week video. Once I, like I said, I need to kind of figure out my dates and what kind of projects I'm working on this month. And then maybe we can set up some project pages that go along with that to help me like check things off and stuff. So anyhow, that is going to be it for this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. And if you really liked it, please consider subscribing, because I post functional planning videos on my channel. And if you like this one, you'll probably like those ones too. And I'd love to see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.